I'm currently living in north of Iran and my father's house and where I grew up. As you know, generally I live in Tehran and work in theater projects and restaurants. And but at the moment I can't work with coronavirus, and I think I'm near out of money. So personally, the first few weeks were very difficult for me because, in one hand, the new year was the 1st of April, and I was amazed that it was the first time in a few years that I have celebrated with my family. But it seemed a little impossible. So, on the other hand, I was able to get into my family again and seeing children growing up, and I was listening my sister's point of view. So, you know, we disagree about many objects, because I'm used to being alone, and at the same time I love them, so I want to be with them. I think a strange contradiction. So, you know, we have been in quarantine for at home for 67 days exactly.
Many 67?
67 days.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And very
So
hard,
you,
I think.
so you started at the beginning of February?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
After my travel, after travel for I think 42 weeks in my home in Tehran, and then here with my family. So
Wow.
67, yeah.
My
So
goodness.
yeah, that would be very difficult for us. So uh, of course, this quarantine not mean that for everyone in Iran, because my two brothers go to work. You know what I mean? They have to go, you know. And my niece has a respiratory illness and has to avoid my an infection and a virus. But her father works, so he lives with us in this house and has not seen her child for 2 months and has talked to her on the phone. Also, my 6 months old niece has a heart problem, and her father goes to work, and then yeah, her father live here, so very difficult for us. I think my mother's home, uh 11 person live, 11 person or maybe more. And many people around us got sick in our neighborhood. We saw and heard upon real only a second his body was brought by ambulance to say goodbye to his home with the support of the police, and the child was standing in special clothes away from the father. So I think many people around the world have experienced these images and see their loved ones buried without anyone, and it's painful.
Right.
It,
Right.
it, I think it's loneliness and separation.
Right. So, wow, 67 days in quarantine.
Yeah,
And
67.
you are 11 people in the house.
Yeah,
So it must
maybe
be,
more. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Uh, five, five, my two brother, my two sister, and five nephew and niece, and my mother, and you know, two more 11.
more than 11.
Yeah,
So you said the two of your brothers are going to work.
yeah,
What
yeah.
kind of work are they doing?
And in taxi and or shopping and another thing.
Okay, okay, cool,
Yeah,
great. So and so you are not in Tehran now, right? You
yeah.
how far are you from Tehran?
30. No, no,
30
no, no,
miles,
no. 3.5, I think. 4.
3.5 hours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So um, I know that there are some things that you may not be able to talk about, so I understand that. So don't talk about. But how is the response to the virus happening?
For me, it's very good because um, I do a lot of work. You know, I understand it's very
Yeah.
hard, but but very good for me. I don't know
So, in what way is that good? What do you mean?
because if they restrict me, I become unpredictable or perhaps unbearable. I'm an energetic person, so I have to be able to fly freely and watch whatever I want. And I always find something to do. And after years, I was supposed to stay home, so for me, very good. Uh, I had to I had to do something for myself and for my family. And you
Great.
asked me about my reaction as an artist and my reaction as a person.
Right.
Yeah. Um, First of all, I started writing new of collection of poems called Inevitable Everything in 1969. And before this collection, I wrote a collection of poems. You were born in New York. About all of happening in this year 2020. So for me, very good. And I enrolled on online classes of topic poetry, social justice, and poetry, and um, as well as books on neuroscience and shaman. Of course, my favorite topics. Yeah.
So, and so so you are mostly writing now. The
Yeah.
medium that you're using is writing. You're taking mostly poems, and as you said, also some other material. And what are the other artists that you know? Are what are they doing in this moment? Before we get to the focus on maybe talking also about what is that you're writing, that would be very interesting. But before we go there, what are the other artists in Iran doing now?
Um, Very hard question because I don't know. I think,
No, you don't know. That's a good answer. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. Um, I'm gonna say about myself. I do
well, you,
photography and writing. I think human have to be able to enjoy suffering. I think that's how it grows. An artist must be able to feel and then act, just act. The artist has not think about words, news. The artist has to think about creating every moment and use any tool in this way. Sometimes a pen and a notebook, and sometimes only the eyes record sound, and sometimes they capture the images with the camera. And obviously, the artist does not think, the artist acts. So sometimes it behaves emotionally, and there is no logic in his work, you know. And the artist observes, not judge. I mean, the artist must be able to avoid judgment. It considers the limits to be related to reason, but the artist does not work with reason. I mean, it is true. It works with the mind, think, and the intellect only helps in the processing. Um, I think the intellect is always worried, like a mother, always worried, like a mother. So I can say for sure how this quarantine and the virus will affect the world. But I know we are dealing with kind of trauma, like First and Second World Wars. So what do you think? I can be say I think the United States wants to liberate several states without arbitration, and China has hidden without lie, and France will later reject violence against women, and Iran dreams and reality without borders. So what about the far-flung countries with thousands of children and the elderly who do not follow any of the world news from the world news? You understand me? So
yeah,
does
yeah,
anyone know the world map is focused on Europe, Asia, and America? We are not talking about continent, Roberto. We are talking about children around the world as well as parents. You know what? I'm not saying who does what. I just know mind. I just know the artist Lucifer and poet records the fact. Truth means everything. It cultivates in the mind, not what actually happens. Observes, follows the sign, and the inspiration never end. You know what? There are inspiration right where you wouldn't think of it. It might be in front of your eyes every day. So please let's not think about war, about death. They will pass. We will think about bodies. You know that bodies will become the minds of our future ancestors. mean that mean whenever there is a storm, does it mean that the vine has changed its direction? One poet.
I don't,
I don't know. I don't know.
I, you
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
So, so this is so this is also part of what you are learning now, or as your position, your idea, your philosophy about being an artist changed
yeah,
in these 67 days. Still a
yeah.
lot. So did you change?
You know,
Did you adjust and change a little bit of your?
yeah, sure, yeah, yeah. Change. These 67 days changed my mind more and more.
Changed you?
Yeah. And what do
I'm
you
asking.
think?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'm changed for 67 days. I do photography at simple ideas at home, and I do yoga in my mother's house with chicken singing. So good because I like life fast, fast running. Oh my God, theater poet, photography, and the people, and restaurant. A lot of work, but now I'm relaxed. I'm good.
So in this moment when you are relaxing, have
Yeah.
you have you discovered anything about you or your art that you did not know before?
Um, I think this quarantine is good because learning about um many subjects. For example, neuroscience. But before, I know a little. Now I know more.
Okay.
And about shaman. You know shaman?
Yeah, of course. The
Yeah,
shaman, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, mythology and
My
all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
my favorite topic. So for me, it's good.
Right. So, when I asked you about the other artists, you said you don't know. So, I
Yeah,
am
I don't know
am I
really.
to assume that you are also isolated from the news of your country?
My friends, I think doing photography and I think just photography because my friend, photographer and actor, and I think in Iran, were cancelled. For example, theater and photography is better because my friends going to photography, and another job I think canceled.
I see.
Yeah.
So, what about the government? How did the government react to this crisis?
Oh, what do you think?
I, Again,
uh,
you don't have to
you
have.
don't have idea? So
Well,
I don't have idea about this question.
Correct.
because you ask me and I answer you. My two brothers go to work because they have to go. So you know they have to go.
I see. I understand. So,
Yeah,
do you have any? So, if somebody gets, is there any testing happening there that you know of?
I don't know.
Testing? You don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, do you have access to Facebook? To do you to the news?
yeah, yeah. In
Oh, you do.
Facebook, yeah, in Facebook and um news and Instagram and about government. I don't know, but about myself, a lot.
Okay. Okay. I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
Um. So,
And
for
you know what? Two weeks ago, my mother said, why they say this disease is for middle-aged people? Why? We do our best and work hard for the growth of our children, and we want all the capital and happiness for them when we reach middle age, so we can breathe. They say that this disease is for middle-aged people. Why? You know?
right.
Yeah, not my country. I think world, not my country, just my country.
Well, yeah. Right. The world. The world.
Yeah.
Right. So, um, any idea when your quarantine may end? Do you know? Is there any talk
Yeah,
about that?
yeah.
At seven days?
Maybe summer. I think summer.
Maybe in the summer.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so
And your
that's
country? In your country?
well, in my
You have idea?
country, in America, I am in America now, but also in Italy. But India is a little bit different. But in America, they are starting. Well, there is some. The president is saying that he wants to reopen, and some governors want to reopen, like the governor of Texas, where I am,
Yeah.
and they want to open now or as soon as possible. Today is April
Really?
24th. I think that they want to open by the beginning of May. While there are other governors, for instance, in New York or California, that instead don't really are they don't want to open yet.
Oh.
So we don't. It goes from state to state. America is
Yeah,
big,
yeah,
but
I know,
also
I know. I
Iran
know.
also is pretty big too.
Yeah.
So there are places where where the information
Yeah.
seems to be more clear, so we have an understanding of what's happening. In other places, we may not get the clear information on what is really happening, and I mean the real numbers. That's why I was asking whether you knew anything about Iran, because for me, not knowing the exact information
Yeah.
about how many people are infected
Yeah.
uh, is kind of a violation of human rights because it puts me at risk, my family at risk. So one of the reasons I'm talking to people in general is that what is your government doing? Is there anything your government is doing that is um, risky?
Yeah.
Um, Everyone has his own politics. So that's to answer your question. Yeah, that's where we are. And I think, and like you, and like of us as as people, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think that the artists can help in this. So, just to how do you see your work? when this is over? I know it's very difficult to think about the future, what the future is going to be, right?
Yeah.
But if you had a dream as an
Mm,
artist, as a shaman, now since you are into shaman,
yeah.
what would the dream be of the artist within yourself, the shaman, now the shaman being now the
Oh,
healer, right?
yeah.
Within yourself for, and how would you do it? Would you try to accomplish it as an artist? Let's dream a little bit here, Zoreh. I mean, let's dream.
Yeah. Oh, dream is very hard. Um, I'm artist and poet is important for me, and I want to share um, all my poet with people, and and I do just photography, and I don't know, Roberto, because a lot of things in my head, I'm thinking few things at the moment, at the time. So it's very hard for me. My dream just before sleep, not awake.
I say.
Yeah, I'm doing just writing and photography in the world and work with children and learning of children and maybe parents, you know. But I like more work with children because children very important in the world, you know.
So now you are focusing. You're now talking about what you are doing. The subject of your art in this moment. It's really
About
photographic.
just no just about love and world and relationship between people and government, I'm not say you know but uh, I can't say I can't say.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what about
people
your poetry?
people people and government, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Okay, yeah,
People
yeah.
and government and and child and my work about three subject: people, government, and child, and, and between.
The three
So
of them.
yeah,
So,
I can't
so
say. I
you,
can't say on via Skype.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
So, and also your poetry is, I remember a couple of years ago, I heard you, you know, deliver your poetry live, and that was so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So, what is your poetry about? Is still again children, people, and government, or is
No,
your
now,
poetry also?
no. After years, I'm writing about um, government. Exactly, exactly government
Okay.
and countries. America and Iran and another country. Not uh, just love between people, men and women. Now, for example, you were born in New York about 2020 in United States, you know, and me and my lover in America about government.
I see.
Yeah.
Cool. And so, would you mind sharing with me
Yeah,
after the call some
yeah,
of the pictures and maybe even the poetry, although it is going to be in your language, and your language, I believe, is Farsi. What's the what
yeah. You were
language
born
do you?
before this collection. You were born in New York. I have English and Persian, but you were born in New York. Farsi, and new collection, inevitable everything, 1969, a little English.
A little bit of English.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
I trying, just I trying.
You're
Yeah,
trying. Yeah, yeah. And so will well, I do hope that I will have a chance to see you and maybe in the States or back in Italy in
yeah.
another of the festivals.
Maybe because for 2020, I want to come to Italy and invite me. Pino invite me, and but for coronavirus, so cancel. Maybe next year.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see
Cool.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. That yeah, I'm in contact with Pino too, and we are talking about how to do a festival
Yeah.
these times, which is very difficult. So I do hope to see you and also the other wonderful colleagues of yours from Iran,
Mm.
and and I hope to see you all again soon.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And after years, what do you think about me now? Yeah.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, I find, in this moment, I always love your work. So that's why I wanted to talk to you to see where, what you're doing, how you're doing, and how things are going in Iran, whether you were
Yeah.
fine and healthy. And so I think a world of you, and
Yeah,
as
yeah.
an actor, you're fantastic. So I do hope that, again, to see you work, to see your work. So if you could send it to me,
Yeah, sure.
and then even if it's in Farsi,
Yeah,
uh,
sure.
the, we'll find someone to translate. And I will. If you could, since you are recording, I will. Can you send me the video and then I will upload it to a
Okay.
drive
Yeah.
and give you access to you so that you can also see the interviews with with the
Yeah.
other artists.
Okay.
You see that I am also interviewed Julia Varley
Yeah.
from
I know, I
Dudin
know.
Theatre.
Yeah.
And so there may be a couple of people that you will recognize.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank
this
you, Zoreh.
conversation. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And let's keep in touch.
Yeah,
And
I
if
hope.
you need anything, just email me. Okay.
Okay.
Ciao, my
Thank
dear.
you. Ciao. Bye
Ciao,
bye.
ciao.